I'll run for you. All I'd ever do to break your heart in two. And you don't believe you can conceive. You never even tried. Boo doo 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 doo. Let's sway to the music that's playing on the radio. Doo 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 doo. Let's dance. Hug Paul, praise Paul, pamper Paul, pleasure Paul. Party bus story was wild. I know, dude. Swaddle Paul, yes. Swaddle Paul. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the fuck. How are you doing today? I'm doing just fine. Let's jump under the moonlight, the serious moonlight. I am doing just fine, thanks. Cooking some of that East Coast lunch. Nice. Yeah, it's not quite lunchtime here on the Westie. It's still good, solid morning, but it's already hotter than shit. It's already smoldering, sweltering hot. And it's only gonna get worse. Wah, 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 wah. Swaddle Paul. I have not checked out Yeezy Dove shirts, no. Got a great head of hair. I gave up, shaved mine off. Yeah. It's the Scottish Irish ancestry. Scotch Irish people never fucking lose their hair, bro. They just get hairier as time goes on. I think it's like the opposite. Let's dance. Oh. You're Celtic too, though? Well, whatever else you are, one out. Do Swedish people go bald? Like, do Norwegian people go bald, or do they typically keep their hair? Scandinavian folk. You are losing hair. Well, I mean, everybody's losing hair, right? But I'm 44 years old and I don't even have like a hint of male pattern baldness going on. The top is nice. I mean, you know. If we're going to survive the great heat death, we need advances in air conditioning technology. Yeah. I don't know who those people are, bro. I can't help you with that. These are not the droids you're looking for. We could just insulate buildings better. Yeah, or we could like completely radically change our energy dependence to save everybody's life and not dump more fucking CFCs into the atmosphere and make it hotter, quicker. And we could start like an unprecedented project to relocate people from the equatorial belt to places north of the equator or south of the equator. Like all of this shit I'm talking about, we could do, we just won't. Because as Maynard pointed out in The Doomed, the new beatitude is, good luck, you're on your own. And I hate it when I see people misquote that as newbie attitude. It's not newbie attitude, it's the new beatitude. Fuck the doomed, you're on your own. That's basically it. What of the, how does it go? What of the pious, the peaceful, and the pure of heart? What of the meek, the mourning, and the merciful? Heh, big guy. Heh, big guy. All doomed. All doomed. Behold a new Christ, behold the same old horde. Gather at the altar ring, new position, new word. And the word was death, and the word was without light. The new beatitude, good luck, you're on your own. Paul, ugh, I really hate breakups. This sucks. You're lucky you're married. I mean, I've had my breakups, okay? Everybody goes through breakups, you know. But you know what? I'm old enough to know that when you get knocked down, you get back up. What of the meek, the mourning, and the merciful? All doomed. All doomed. Yeah, that thing, dude. The Biden whisper. I think he thinks it's like it. Because I think it like it is polled well. Maybe like when he did it back in the day, like in 2020. Thank you. I know too, but when you're in the thick of it, they're all you want. I know. But it'll get better. You'll start to realize that like you'll have your Taylor Swift moment. Don't worry. You'll start to realize you're better off. I want to drag my keys into the side of his pretty little souped up four-wheel drive. I want to dig my nails into his leather seats. You remember that song? That's not Taylor Swift. That's some other country chick talking about how she's going to destroy the property of her ex. Yeah, shake it off. Right? That's her thing. Carrie Underwood, yeah. Can't believe people still want to ride. Dude, okay. I'm not talking shit about the dude. I really do think that Dylan Burns is a smart guy, but I heard him say the stupidest fucking shit. He said in a video where he was like reviewing, I started to watch the video because he was reviewing a debate that Destiny had with somebody. And I was like, let's see where Dylan is on the Destiny scale. But he gave like a little preamble to the debate, and he was like, look, here's where I'm at with Biden. And I'll say this again. I think that Biden is too old to run for president. I don't think he's too old to be president. I was like, he's like, I think he's too old to campaign properly. But as far as doing the job of the presidency, I think he can do it. And I was like, what? So he's too old to campaign properly for the president, but he's not too old to be the president. It's just like that level of cope is something like, I don't have any fucking frame of reference for that shit, bro. It's just like when you hear something that stupid come out of a mouth that you know is smart, it's like, man, this cope is really going to kill a lot of people's spirits, isn't it? Dylan, Destiny, and Vosh all smell the same to you. Well, I mean, they're all kind of like libs. They're all kind of liberals. These are like DNC liberals. So they should smell the same. Yeah, I think he's good enough to be a doctor. I just don't think he's good enough to take the MCAT. Or whatever the fuck that doctor test is, right? He's good enough to be a doctor. I just don't think he could pass school to be a doctor. It's like, what? Excuse me? I like Dylan too. I really do. I genuinely do. Like, after he came on our show, I was like, that's a good guy. You know what I mean? Might be wrong about some stuff, but that's a good fella. And I still feel that way, but goddamn, man, that cope is something else. That's a whole of cope right there. The man is too old to run for president, but not too old to be president. And he went on to talk about the stress of running for president. And it's like, dude, being president is stress. Like, what do you think happens when you get woken up in the middle of the fucking night because something's going, like Russia just invaded Poland or something? You think that's like low-key easy or something? Like, or when you find out that, like, in the middle of the night that you need to jump on Air Force One immediately because something's happened in Europe and you need to be there, right? Or like fucking phone calls all night, fucking big shit happening. You got military operations going on. You got to be up till 4 a.m, and then you got a press conference at 8, and then you got, like, do you think that the schedule of a president is any less grueling than the schedule of a fucking campaign? He can drive a car, but he just can't reach the pedals, yeah. Paul, are there some liberals who see Biden as incompetent, but the safe option compared to Harris? Probably. I don't know. You'd have to ask the liberals. I do not remember that, no. Gather at the altering. Yeah, my phone's gonna overheat out here. This is the sad truth of living in the modern age. Dude, my phone will overheat here in a minute. Guaranteed. All doomed. Honestly scared for us. We look incredibly weak right now. Yup. Super duper weak. Our power doesn't project like it used to. The fucking Ukraine war has dragged on and on and on, despite all these like people saying it, Russia couldn't hold on another month. Well, here it goes. Trench warfare now. Over 2 years, over 500,000 people dead. Probably way more than that, to be honest with you. Those are the numbers we get from the fucking people in this conflict. Be willing to bet that when the bodies are counted, there's over 1 million people that are off the planet because of this. No end in sight. Kiev still being rocked by rocket attacks. Jacques Lafrange. You think Jacques Lafrange can save us? What? Russia was the one? No, both sides. Both sides were announcing how quick this would be. If you want, dude, you don't have to take my word for it. Go back and look at the beginning of this. When people said that Russia being pushed out of Kiev and pushed back to the fucking border zone, the disputed zone, was a sign that Ukraine was about to just absolutely, completely roll over Russia. And that Russia was going to have to leave with its tail between its legs. And then after the conflict went a little longer, people were saying, oh, the summer offensive. There's a summer offensive planned that is going to break the back of Russia. Russia is completely out of tanks. It's completely out of materiel. And this summer offensive is going to break the backs of Russia. And all of these commentators, not just military people, but like your Dylan Burnses, your Vosches, all of them were fucking, yep, it's about to happen, guys. We're about to break the back of fascism, guys. And now here it is, a whole year and a change after that summer offensive fizzled into nothing. Now there's probably, like I said, once the fucking smoke clears and the bodies are counted, 1 million people dead in East Ukraine. And in no end in sight. No end in sight. Yep. People were talking about pushing Ukraine, winning so hard that they push into Russia and create like a DMZ inside of Russia. They were saved from being Russian. Yeah, you're right. Better dead than red. And it's just like, as this mounts years and years later, the cope cycle continues. And I don't know what to do about it, guys. I don't know what it's going to take to wake smart people up so that they stop saying things like, I don't think Biden is too old to be the president. I just think he's too old to campaign for the presidency. Just cope. If all of the fucking, like, if you go back and watch our talk with Dylan Burns, which, by the way, happened almost a year ago today. It was Scotty's birthday. So it was either the 15th or the 16th of July last year that we talked to Dylan Burns. Here it's been a year. Go back and watch that talk. See if any of the stuff he said was imminent even came close to happening. He was talking about how Russia was just a fractional chunk, just a fractional piece away from being unable to staff its fucking military vehicles, to not having any military vehicles. The back was about to break, and all we needed to do was keep the pressure up. Well, here we are a year after that, and things have just blown the fuck up. Man, I agree with most of the stuff you say, bro, but that was not a good showing when you debated Destiny. Stop the arrogance. I mean, I tell you what, dude. You go on Destiny and you conduct yourself however you want. I'll talk to Destiny however I want. How's that? Like, you know how it's done. Destiny will talk to anybody, right? So why don't you show me how it's done? You agree with everything I'm saying, then you disagree with a lot of what Destiny's saying. So get in there, Tiger, and show me how it's done. Well, I mean, dead fucking lighter. Isn't the world grand? Great live here, bud. Just get up and walk away. Once again, man, why don't you cut a live and see how many people chill and watch you walk away? Everybody's got like fucking endless. This is something that does bug me as a content creator because I feel like it basically doesn't happen to anybody else. And when it does, it's considered to be like one of the more retarded things that happen. So I've been doing this job for 10 years, right? 10 years. I've made my money doing nothing but doing podcasting and streaming or whatever the fuck, right? I'd say that qualifies me as an expert. I'd say that making your entire livelihood for 10 years straight or more in a job and being successful at that job is mastery of that job. Be considered an expert at that job, right? So like, let's say that you go to like a shoemaker, right, to get a shoe repaired. And he's like, yeah, I can do that for you. It'll be $100, blah, blah, blah. You pay him. He takes this thing over, he starts working on it. Wait. Why are you hammering on it with a hammer? You shouldn't hit a shoe with a hammer. Well, this is a tack hammer, sir. It's you. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I've never ever seen somebody hit a shoe with a hammer, my dude. Or do you even know what you're doing? Can I have my money back? Right? Like way, 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 way. Completely not knowing what I just feel like that doesn't happen much to a cobbler. Or a blacksmith, right? Like, I need some horseshoes made. All right, let me go do that. Tink, tink. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Why is your forge so hot? I can feel it from here, man. Does it need... Because, like, I don't think you need to heat the metal that much. Are you doing that right? Are you holding the hammer right? Is this supposed to sound like tink, tink? Is that supposed to be what it is when you're making a horseshoe? Dude, shouldn't you try holding the hammer with your other hand? Wouldn't that be the way to do it? See, for some reason, like, that doesn't happen to other people who've got 10 years worth of expertise doing something. But for some reason, everybody's got hella fucking, like, advice on what I should be doing. Isn't that wild? I think it's because people have in their mind that what I do is attainable to them. All they'd have to do is pick up their phone and do it. And it's like, are you sure this should be in portrait? Absolutely. This is called algorithm maxing. You put your stuff in portrait mode and you get put into the algorithm via the shorts feed. And so this is, you can look it up, but thanks again for the advice. You see what I mean? It's just odd to me. People don't respect entertainers as giving a service. I do think that there is a thought process in a lot of people's heads, and maybe it's not like the forward thought process, but I think there's a subconscious thought process driving their action. That's like, I could do what he's doing. He doesn't even fucking know, he doesn't even fucking do anything for a living. I could do that. And it's just like, why don't you? I'm probably making more money than you. Well, you know, like, he just needs to do it this way. He needs to upload like this. He needs to talk to people like that. It's like, what gives you like the fucking broad base of expertise that even would make you go and talk to an expert in something and tell them how to do it? Yeah, go. I tell you what, man, if you want to see what an amateur looks like doing this, scroll until you find somebody that's got like a 0 view or 1 view live going on right now. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you hear. All doomed. It's just odd to me. It is bothersome. It's like, I know some people do it to troll, but there really are a gaggle of people out there who feel like they're going to walk into a dude who's doing something they could never do and give him advice on how to do it. It's like, I guess I won't say never do. I will say this. I'll say they'd have to put in the amount of work that I put in to do it. Years and years and years of deliberate work. And study. Adjacent fields and shit. Theater work. Stage work. Public speaking work. All of that shit folds into my shit. So you could do it. You just won't. Most of the streams on here are just people gambling. You have one of the best streams. I know. I'm told this all the time. I've heard that like YouTube Shorts Live is basically like people playing Fortnite and yelling at their stream chat. People sitting there playing a video game and not interacting at all with their stream chat. People playing like online roulette or online poker. It's fucking like, that's it, bro. Right? And I come along and I offer something a little bit different. And then like my reward for that, for interacting with the chat, is oftentimes a gang of people telling me what to do and how to do it that could never do a fucking 10-minute stream in my style, let alone like do it every day. What's good, man? Yeah, dude. Actually, the weather right now is kind of good. I mean, it's hot, but it's like kind of like there's a little bit of a breeze. Like, watch, I'll show you. I'll prove the breeze. Watch. Look, see the little, watch the leaves. Ah, see them bob a little bit? There's a breeze, okay? There's a breeze. Okay, it's been proven. Hold on, I'm gonna hold this phone for a minute and see if it cools down. I think it being up again, oh, I bet that is what it is. What if I did this? No. Because, yeah, dude, it's up against this metal pole that holds up my umbrella. And I think that's probably what's, like, causing my phone to overheat out here in the shade, maybe. Surprisingly green backyard for those temperatures, I know. Trust me, I know. They've got, like, a huge, extensive drip and sprinkler system back here that's on a timer that runs, so it's just, like, waste of water. Yo, I'm new. What do you usually do on stream? I usually just kind of sit out here, chill, and talk. I try and interact with the chat. Paul, do you think in the near future YouTube will ask payment for you to upload or stream given the recent campaign to fight ad blockers? Maybe. I fucking don't know. I don't know what YouTube is going to do next. I don't know how to call their moves. TJ would know better. I've been dealing with YouTube's bullshit for a decade. TJ's been dealing with it for 2 decades. I would say he'd be a better resource for that question, for sure. Like, trying to mind read what YouTube is thinking or what it might do in response to this, that, or the other thing is, like, way out of the realm of my... Yeah, see, dude, my phone has cooled down so much since I picked it up. So I've got to try and find some way to put, like, some kind of a buffer. You know what? I wonder if I just did this. Just, like, an empty pack of smokes and then put my phone up against that. And that would let, like, air blow through and stuff, and it's not right up against hot metal. It's not hot, but, like, warm metal. Yeah. Paul Zico. Anyone is welcome here, just don't start preaching. Yeah, don't open with preaching, man. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. This ain't church. This ain't church, okay? So we're not going to preach here. Cheers. I had it leaning against that pole that's holding up this umbrella that's over me. And it's a metal pole, right? And if I touch the pole here, the metal is not, it's not like burning my hand, but it's warm, hot, like to the touch. It's warmer than my body. And I had my phone leaning up against that. And I think that was causing, you know, obviously the heat transfer from that, plus the heat generated by the phone was causing it to overheat. Yeah, my stream has now died twice, I believe, due to overheating, or 3 times. I want to get, like, not a tripod, but like an arm. I used to have an arm that I could hook to any solid surface, and then it just floats like a mic arm, but for your phone. It's got like a clamp thing that you click onto your phone, and it holds your phone, and then you can position it somewhere out here, right? And it just hangs there. I had one of those way back in the day. I used to use it all the time in Louisiana on my porch streams in Louisiana when I was chilling out and back. That would definitely help. You could have it at any angle. Yeah, I could move it around. I could easily, like, flip it around. So if I wanted to show you guys, you know, like, you guys could watch me do my fucking yoga stuff. I just think about that shit while I'm streaming, and then after the stream, I don't remember, and I don't do it. You know what I mean? Nifty watch. Thanks. Xeric Soloscope 2, mechanical watch. Really weird, like, horology on it. It's got a 24-hour clock down here, and then these 2 concentric circles are the minutes, and then the hour is that little white spot in the middle. So it is 11:22, or sorry, 10:22-ish, according to this. I think this might be a little fast. Let me, because it is not 10:22. It's like 10:18. There we go. We're good. Never seen a watch like that. Yeah. I always like showing this off. I know people have seen this, but like the case back on this is one of my favorite things to like just sit and look at. It's hard to see on the phone, but it's got a sapphire case back so you can see the rotor, which is what winds the watch. You see it bobbing there? That winds the watch. And if you look at the watch, in the bottom corner here, you can see the heart of the watch in there if you look carefully. It's a little wheel that's flipping. It's called the balance wheel. That's like the heartbeat of the watch, and I think it's really neat, right? Here's the face of the Zarek, so you can kind of see a little better how it's read, how the time on it is read. Pretty cool, huh? Having such a hard time? What's going on, buddy? Paul, you have some great taste in watches. I know. Trust me, I'm aware, bro. Not trying to brag or anything, but dude, I didn't buy a watch until I spent 2 years, probably over 2 years, researching watches. I developed my taste and then started purchasing watches. And now I own 5. And I'm desperate to own a 6th. There are like 3 watches right now that I desperately want to own. But I've told myself, and more importantly, my wife, no more watches till Christmas. No more watches till Christmas time. ¿Qué onda, hermano? ¿Qué onda, wey? How's it going? Órale. What of the meek? It's crazy to think that Biggie and Pac only had 24, 25 years of life on this earth. They've been dead longer than they've been alive, but their influence is still strong. I know. It's fucking crazy, right? Such a tragedy. Like, you don't understand, like, it still hits hard sometimes when I think about that era, because it was like Kurt, dead, Shannon Hoon, dead, Pac, dead, Biggie, dead, a number of other just people that felt like they were about to go meteoric, dead. I like Lilienthal's, dude. See, you've got to, like, I can tell you've got a way more, like, I'm not trying to, like, critique it, but you've got a way more, like, traditional watch kind of sensibility. I hate metal bracelets, bro. Paul, what do you think of Vanilla Ice singer? Huh? I don't know, bud. Vanilla Ice, I mean, like, his first album was pretty dope, but, you know, back in the 80s, it was pretty fucking dope, I'm not gonna lie, but, like, now he's lame. Yeah, definitely weird being older than a lot of these musicians that died. Oh, yeah. Roll it up, roll it up, roll up the Hootie Mac, roll it up, roll it up, roll up the Hootie Mac. It's like, get him off the stage. Who's the last artist you saw live? I saw Panic at the Disco live at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. That must have been 4 or 5 years ago now. It has been a long time, bro. I mean, pre-COVID. It was right before COVID. Damn, Paul, you got a haircut? No, I just put my hair up in a ponytail so it's not like draped all over my shoulders and making me hot. I am gonna get a haircut soon though, but not like radical. It's just down on my shoulders now and I want it like up here. That had to be like 4 to 5 years ago. But it was a beautiful show. Cause nobody knows you now when you're dying in LA. Nobody knows you now when you're dying in LA. The power, the power, the power. That's my favorite song. Well, my favorite Panic at the Disco song. I definitely want to see Ghost, man. That is on my list of to-dos, is to see Ghost. I also want to see Playboi Carti or Kodak Black. I'd love to go to, I don't know if I could hack it, but I'd love to go to like Rolling Loud one year. Like Rolling Loud LA would be fucking amazing. Just get tickets too. I just want to feed on that energy, dude. That's all I want. Dude, if you watch like live sets, like these big, giant live festival sets that Playboi Carti's done or Kodak has done, I mean, like the audience is so fucking hype. I want that energy, bro. I felt that energy at the Panic concert. Like, those are dedicated ass fans, bro. I'm a casual Panic at the Disco fan, okay? I like a lot of their music, but I'm pretty casual with it. And those fans over there, it was the first time too, as like a boomer guy. Well, I'm not a boomer, but you know what I mean, like an older guy, that I'd been to a concert where people didn't do this, right? They hold up their phones. And I was like, at first it was like off-putting, but then I looked at it once everybody was doing it, and I was like, damn, that's kind of like beautiful. Paul, Spotify devalued music and musicians. That's why most musicians charge high robbery amounts for concerts. Here's the thing, man. Spotify didn't do it. What happened is that, okay, let me tell you a little story, okay, bud? Because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, okay? So when let's say I was watching MTV one day and I heard No Rain by Blind Melon, right? Or even better, let me give you a better example, because that album was actually really good. I heard Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger. I'm 16 years old. I'm flipping through fucking the channels. I land on MTV and I hear right? I had visions, I was in them, I was looking into the mirror to see a little bit clearer the rottenness and evil in me. My fingertips of memories, I can't forget the curves of your body. And when I feel a bit naughty, I run it up the flagpole and see who still looks but no one ever does, right? I hear that song. Let's say I want that song, right? It's 96. And I want that song. What are my choices? Choice number one, I can wait until MTV plays the song again. Choice number two, I can go turn on the radio and hope that the local modern alt-rock station plays the song again. Number three, I can go down to the record store and pay, in 96, between $12 and $20 for the Harvey Danger album, right? Record that shit on cassette. We all know, right? We knew back in the 90s, that sounds like shit. Recording the radio sounds like shit. So, the music industry fucked themselves by charging exorbitant prices for music and over monetizing their music to the point of locking people out. And then the internet happened. Right in that time zone, okay? The internet happened. 96, 97, 98, 99. Households are starting to adopt dial-up internet. And with that, people are starting to figure out in a rudimentary way that you can share songs. You can post a song and download a song in certain places. You can get a whole big ass wave file of a song. And people wouldn't have gone through the trouble of that if companies hadn't over monetized their product. Right? So that's what killed it, was the fact that back in the day, it was shitty to be a fan of music because you were basically just screwed. You could watch whatever MTV wanted to be playing. You could listen to whatever the radio wanted to be playing. You could go get one of your small but fucking growing collection of CDs and throw that on. But if you wanted to hear new music, you were basically at the mercy of radio and television, playing it in a programming sense, right? Or you had to have pockets full of money to go down and buy 3 or 4 albums. You know, like if you wanted to buy 3 albums as a kid, I remember talking to my stepdad about this. He'd go buy records when he was a kid. He'd go down to the fucking thing with like $4 and buy 3 or 4 records. It's like now it's $20 a pop in 96. So you want 3 records, $60. No kid had that. No 16-year-old kid felt okay about popping $60 on 3 CDs just to hear 3 songs too. Because, like, you know, you had no clue if the reason I used Harvey Danger is that album is almost unlistenable. It's garbage. It has 1 good song, and that was very common. Sometimes you got lucky. I remember I bought the Local H album for that one song, Bound for the Floor. You guys remember? You remember that song? I bought for that, and it turns out that's the worst song on the album. Like, their other songs are actually way better. So I was, like, pleasantly surprised, right? I bought an album because I just couldn't get a one-hit wonder out of my head, and I ended up finding songs that I liked way more by that band, right? Like High-Fiving Motherfucker, for example, I think is the name of the song. You high-fiving motherfucker. You high-fiving motherfucker. I had a teacher in high school who showed us The Pod by Hum. And I remember the look on everyone's faces when they heard alternative music for the first time, right? Hum. She thought she took the train to Mars. She's out there counting stars. Isn't that Hum? Or am I wrong? Thought that was Hum. The singles are the ones you heard a million times, but the hidden bangers, right? It's like I would do that sometimes. Like I bought Tool, not Anima. What was the